Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. All right, prepping topic this morning here. Most of us know that 80% of the U.S. population lives east of the Mississippi River. Okay, I mean, New York, Boston, Chicago, Cincinnati, Washington, D.C., Atlanta, pick something. Lots of mega cities. They're all struggling to maintain under the stress of such a big population. What happens if that 80% becomes 90%? It's very possible. Okay. I ran across something this morning that I hadn't seen in a couple of years talked about. Okay. And it is the problem that preppers face. It's the hardest prep to take care of. And as a country, it's practically impossible for us to fix. That's water. Okay. Ran across a story this morning about the Megadrought that has started in the Southwest and Southern Plains states. Go back to the 1930s. Anybody remember reading the book, The Grapes of Wrath? Okay. Talking about the Okies and leaving because of the Dust Bowl. Here's the issue that we have this time. Going west isn't any better. I mean, Nevada, Arizona, all under these droughts. Gee, and if you go a little bit further, you go to California. And what do we keep hearing about California? We don't have any water. The whole state's on fire. Yada, yada, yada. Drought, 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 drought. I'm not even talking about the fact of who the hell want to live in liberal la-la land. So the only option would be for everybody to move east. And hence we wind up with, I don't know, Hank Johnson's idea. Maybe the United States would tip over because there's so many people on the eastern half. Wait till he says that one. But this is the challenge that the Southern Plains and the desert Southwest are facing. Remember talking about Lake Mead a few years ago? And I saw it with my own eyes. You guys all knew it, the Hoover Dam and everything, and the hydroelectric power. Now remember, Lake Mead provides water for Southern California, Las Vegas, parts of Arizona, even down into Mexico. It provides power from Hoover Dam for that same area as well. No water means no electricity for all that area. Also means no water for any crops in Southern California. Southern California, in case you guys didn't know, is a desert. And we just completely changed the landscape of it by irrigation and population, and so Los Angeles or San Francisco or San Diego. San Francisco's north. San Diego, drive out from Vegas to Los Angeles sometime if you ever get a chance. And you go through the desert and it is dry. But think about how this affects people. That means no crops in California, no crops in Arizona or Nevada. And before you say, they don't grow much there. Yeah, you get a lot of grapefruit and cactus and citrus down in that area that is grown. Okay. And believe it or not, there's a lot of products that are made from cactus. But Texas or Oklahoma, let's start thinking about what's grown down there. Corn, wheat, grass. What's grass used for? That would be feeding cattle. Okay. We talk about beef prices. Imagine a drought hitting and we have beef prices go absolutely through the roof. This is a major issue. We are turning into another Dust Bowl, just like the 1930s. And it's not well, that's scientific stories or whatever. This is actually happening right now, okay? Last week, you had a 55 car accident that was caused by blinding conditions from blowing dust. Those rainstorms that we all saw from basically Houston all the way up to Maine, well, you had a dirty rain in a lot of it because it had collected all this dust that blew into it and then was raining a type of mud, okay? You go out and look at your car and go, usually after a rain, your car almost, I don't want to say looks clean, but washes off the day. And all of a sudden you went out there and it was like, that's weird. It's like my car looks like it's a little muddy. That's what it was, okay? You had 70-mile-an-hour winds going over the prairies in New Mexico and Texas that just picked up all these dust particles and blinded everybody. You had 8 people die in this. There was one guy who mentioned walking out in this was like getting hit in the face by a shovel. Now, we've all been in situations where you're walking through a windy area or sleet, for those of you guys who are up north. I mean, I remember this too. And you feel all that stuff hitting your face. I mean, it hurts as it's blowing at you. Imagine sand hitting you in the face at 70 miles an hour. It's going to hurt, right? But this hit Kansas, this hit Colorado. You had multiple crashes on the highway. I mean, it was everywhere. And it's all because of a lack of water. And then we get into maybe they're cloud seeding, right? Maybe that's what all these storms were from, all the tornadoes that we saw in Missouri or Arkansas, or God knows 12 inches of rain that we're seeing in some places. Oh, that they're trying to cloud seed so we get water. They're doing it in the wrong spot then, okay? Go out and start cloud seeding over Nevada or over Utah and let that move east and get water where it's needed. Because the old saying, water is life, yeah, that's very true. No water means no animals, no plants, no people. We can't survive without it. We can't grow food. We can't raise food. We can't drink. I mean, 3 days without water. You guys know that story, right? That's your life expectancy. Okay, what do? Just like the Okies back in the 1930s, they move. Imagine nearly the entire population of Texas. I mean, Houston's about the only place that's not drier than normal already this year. Or Oklahoma moving. I mean, think about the amount of people you were talking about taking in. Then you think about what would that do to the economy? There isn't housing for however many millions of people there are in the states affected. There aren't jobs. The infrastructure can't handle it. The cities are already struggling to handle the people they have. And you could feasibly have more come in, all because of water. As I said before, water is the most difficult prep to control because it takes up a lot of space. It's heavy. What do you do? And you need to contain it somehow. Where do you put it? I've got an IBC tote, or I've got 3 of them. Great, they hold about 250 gallons apiece. 750 gallons of water ain't going to last you that long. Certainly not going to water your crops. If you're a farmer or whatever it is, might water your garden a couple of times, but that's it. No rain means no food, means no animals, means no people. It's something to really pay attention to, not only if you live in that area, but start thinking out further in the future. How could it affect you if you live in Ohio? What if there isn't? What if beef prices go to $50 a pound and not eating beef anymore? You know, what if I can't get the vegetables, the corn, the wheat that is grown in the plains? What do I do? Do you have, for example, wheat berries stored so you could make the breads that you need? Might be a good idea. The one thing about prepping that you've got to look at, and people say this to me all the time, it's like, oh, you talk about current events and everything like that. Yeah, because knowing what is going on, knowing the environment, being able to forecast what could feasibly happen to you in the future is the only way to prep. If you don't know what's going on, if you don't know that food prices are going to skyrocket, or we're going to have an influx of illegals or whatever, if you know those things are coming, you can prepare to counteract it. If you don't pay attention to it, when it hits you, I never saw it coming. It's because you didn't pay attention. I know it's strange, it's like people say, oh, you're my news channel. It's this, everything I talk about has to do with prepping. You have to be able to prepare for what's coming. It's not just, you can't just blanket, I'm going to prepare for Armageddon or an apocalypse or an EMP or whatever. That's great that you do that, but you got to get to that time first. And all the other more likely things are staring us all right in the face. We just need to learn about them and know about them so we can pay attention ahead of time. Think about this situation, depending on where you are, it's going to affect you differently. If you're in Amarillo, Texas, you're worried about having water, okay? If you're in Columbus, Ohio, you're worried about, what's going to happen with food prices? It's going to affect us all differently, but it's going to affect us all, and we need to pay attention to it. Have a good one. Pinball out.